let's bring some other guys in.
Cool.
Who's coming in?
Chinatu.
Yeah.
Get Chin.
Why are you laughing, Chinadu?
Yeah.
Chinatu wants to say something. He's itching. Come on, let's go. Chinatu.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm here. Well, the topic is very funny. Like Mr. Shola told you, when we talk about love, we are talking about somebody sacrificing, something that is higher than you. When we go to the spiritual background of it, we understand that Jesus laid his life just for the people, that he believed that this is the people that I come to. I came here to die for them, laying down my life to save them. So I have never celebrated Valentine in my life, but I used to see people, do it. And I believe that every day is a Valentine for me. I see that as a way that people, misinterpret it, choose that particular day for them to have fun. But you can also have fun every day of your life. You can buy a gift to somebody. You can go to charity and give them, donate something. That is part of love. You can take your wife or your children out and buy a gift and give them. It's a part of love. So in the context of the Valentine, I have not been there. I have not experienced it. But I see it a way that...
Amen.
So I see it a way as people trying to, like my brother said, that they want to prioritize it. They use it. It's a particular people, using it to make money for themselves. But in other sense, we also need to understand that Valentine, based on this foundation where it started, is a time where, according to what they say, is a time where they pair a man and woman. Is a kind of a time to exchange gift, a time to exchange something without expecting anything from anybody, like opposite sex. But
that should be Valentine's Day. Wicked.
Yeah?
That should be Valentine's Day. What you just said. Amen. Yes. Exchange of gifts. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Sorry, carry on.
But the new generation, they have misinterpreted the message. This is a time where people, see it as opportunity to have sex, do a lot of funny things, which is not the standard, or where God, or where the originated people that originated this thing, has put into the place. So for my own side, I don't celebrate it, but I see it as a time to celebrate, a time to exchange gifts, a time to love one another, show them that this is what life is all about, to celebrate them. So that is my own take, Mr. Tony and Mr. Shola. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
Very, very good. Very interesting.
Good.
Yeah?
Good. Yeah.
We've got Greg.
Okay.
We've got Greg. Greg, let's hear you. I know you had your beautiful daughter with you. Yeah? Is there? Is Greg there? It's not Greg. Hero? You there? Okay, we have Marvel. Marvel's ready.
Marvel. My little girl won't let me get the food. She's just all over the place. For me, that's the beauty of Valentine. I think some of the sentiments I'm going to share, kind of like correlates with some of the things already said on this call tonight. First, I want to ask, what if choosing a day to celebrate love? If you have to pick a day to celebrate love, it's no longer love,
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a strong. It's okay. I think there's a strong. What's it called? There's a strong push, just like the pharmaceutical companies.
You can't hear you, Marvel. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
You were clearer before.
Yeah, a bit muffled.
Can you hear me now?
That's better.
Okay. I think there's a big agenda, being pushed or being sold out about the Valentine's Day by
Mm.
certain people at the top. You know,
Yeah.
um, I know. Tony Bello doesn't want to hear about the floral companies. You don't want to hear about card companies, but you cannot push them away really because those are the people who will be printing dollars tomorrow. You know, those are the people who will be making money tomorrow because it's for me is now very commercialized.
Mm.
So when love is now sold, or bought, it's no longer love. Like someone said on this
Mm.
call, love should be every day. Love is commitment. It should be what is shared daily. And
Yeah.
if you go back to the origination of the Valentine's Day, for me, I do not celebrate what I don't understand. Someone says is the priest. Another person says is actually for the fertility god. There's a lot of stories flying out there. When it comes to Valentine's Day. So I want to celebrate what I understand totally. So that I'm not just following the crowd. So for me, it's not
Mm.
about love. It's about selfishness and greed. Forgive me, okay? Those are my
Mm-hmm.
opinions. Do you understand? Because some
Very
some
good.
people think, you have to buy me something because it's Valentine's Day. So they
Exactly.
wait a whole year just to get to February 15th, to say, and in some homes, if you look at the statistics, in some homes, breakups happen on the 14th of February. Lots of
Mm.
people leave their homes, leave their girlfriends, leave their
Mm.
boyfriends because of some flimsy excuses that they didn't buy you flowers or buy you this or buy you that. And because we're men on this call, the
Mm.
men tend to spend a lot on Valentine's Day that the women do. Forgive me. Women will give you flowers, men will give you G wagons or something.
Well,
know, take you to the best restaurant in town. So it's a little bit too selfish. Yeah, for me. So that's my submission for now. Okay, I'll come back. Let me see if I
mm.
can put my daughter away. Okay.
Mm.
It's your
No,
Valentine's.
that's that's great, Marvel. Can I just chime in and just recap on what Marvel has said there. Great, great contribution. I love what he said. He doesn't celebrate what he doesn't not understand. Right? I'm going to repeat that. Why are we celebrating things that we don't really understand? Just as you rightly said, Marvel. Look, well, the stats that Tony brought up earlier on the call at the beginning when we were talking about the roots and the foundation of where this thing came from. I've looked it up myself, and there's about three or four different versions, stories of what actually happened, where this thing originated from. As Tony rightly said, there's no clear date. He said between the 13th and the 15th or whatever. And it's just confusion. Just to really kind of hit home on a point there about the spends. A friend of mine, I'm not going to mention any names, a few years ago, this time of year, Valentine's, he had bought his wife or his partner at the time. I think spent about, I don't know, he said about £3,000 to £4,000 on her.
Wow.
He just bought a load of stuff, yeah, and as Marvel just said, they because of that they almost split up. Why? Because the partner was expecting more than what she actually, actually received.
Wow.
And I just like really fell off my chest. So you've got over £3,000 to £4,000 worth of gifts, but because it wasn't the thing that she was expecting, it basically nearly put the dampers on the relationship. And so again, just
Was she
coming back to
expecting
this
a ring?
thing, why
Sorry, sorry.
exactly? You
She was
got it. You hit
expecting
the
a
nail
ring.
on the head. You hit the nail
Okay,
on the head. Yes, yes,
that's
yeah,
something a woman should never
right.
ask for. But all right, go on, King. Go
Well,
on.
there you go. No, you're right. That's it.
We're
So
kings. We're
just Tony
kings.
was
We do. Yeah, go on, King. Sorry.
exactly. No, we're supposed to lead. We're supposed to lead. So she didn't get that at the time. She decided, it became havoc, became confusion after that, and it's just this thing again that it is, it celebrates greed, celebrates confusion. And don't get me wrong. Look, I'm going to put my hands up. Look, I have gone into it. I'm being real. I've done it before, many moons ago, many years ago, when, as Marvel said, I did not understand. I was just following the crowd. I'm being real. I was just following what everybody does, what everybody seemed to do. But then when I hopefully became wiser and more mature in my years, I said, you know what, this stops. And I've not done it since. Probably about over the last 20 odd years, I've not indulged in it. That's for me. Yeah.
Well,
So
I think Greg is here now. Yeah, that's good. But one thing I say is, look, you know what? Listen carefully. They say, what's love got to do with it? Listen carefully. Money can't buy love. Money
of
can't
course not.
buy love. So all this stuff that you're doing on Valentine's Day with all the money that you're spending, yeah, it cannot buy love. And I think it's all to do with covering up the cracks that's happening in a relationship. Yeah. So that's why some people go to town with this thing. But I want Greg to come in. Greg, over to you.
Hi, Tony. Hi, everyone. Shola, good evening. Good to
Greg.
see
Evening
you
to you,
all.
Greg.
Yeah, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Very good perspective so far. Marvel, everybody, thank you so much for your contribution so far. And for me, I think I'm going to differ on this case. And I'm going to be like a contrarian. And why am I saying that? So, first of all, I want to just look at the very premises on which some of you have said the reason why there is confusion about the Valentine celebration. So, first of all, I'll start from what does it have to do with love? I think yes, it does. It has something to do with love, and I'm going to explain that at the tail end of my explanation. And I would say that the debate over the date and the source of this celebration is immaterial. And why I say that is most of the customs that we observe today in the world, we don't really know about them so much. If you look at the Christians, for instance, some people say, oh, it's supposed to be on Saturdays. It's supposed to be on.
You're breaking up.
Can't hear you.
We've lost you.
Can't hear you. Okay,
Can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. My daughter opened my AirPods, so it didn't take away the mouthpiece. So the date of celebration, the date, whether it is 14th or 13th, is immaterial. Now, the idea behind the celebration itself, the late Valentine, the Reverend Father who perhaps we all attribute the Valentine, Saint Valentine, whom we attribute the day to. I think that the celebration itself is much more bigger than Saint Valentine, right? It has become a custom. And to some people, it has value, to others, it does not. But we have days to celebrate Diabetes Awareness Day, Cancer Celebration. We have days to do Easter celebration. People celebrate religion. And this religion does not cover everybody, but love, when you say love, people have different definitions about love. And then there is a day, whether it is St. Valentine or it was created by mere practice. And then everybody now says, okay, you know what? Let us say this is the day that we are going to put out for this very phenomenon. It is possible, it is effective, it's not effective. But the lack of love itself is the beginning of darkness. And the celebration of Valentine does not mean that someone does not love. It does not also mean that if you celebrate on the 14th of February, it makes you inferior or superior whatsoever. I would rather say that the celebration of the 14th of February, when I said I will go to the end to say it has something to do with love, is this. If you do not celebrate it on the 14th of February, which other day do you have to celebrate it? Or is it just another means? Is it just another means that men have devised to stay away or run away from their responsibility? Is it just another means to say, oh, I just want to show this man I'm a powerful man. So without this, I'm not going to celebrate. Right? So I think people are trying to shy away from their responsibility by saying, oh, I don't believe in this. It must not be. Sorry, baby, what do you want? Okay, hold on, mama. All right. So I think that if we have all come, there are so many customs. there are so many sorry, 1 minute. Sorry, 1 minute.
Very interesting perspective. Very interesting
It's a
perspective.
good one. No, it's a good one. No.
I'm sure that you're going to have a few things to say about it.
Yeah. I'm just noting some bits down because I don't want to forget. Because this is
Sorry
he's
about
made
that. Sorry about
some good
that.
points.
I'm
That's
gonna do
fine.
carry her back. Sorry about that. So I think that some men are running away from that responsibility. Whether you are, it is just like saying you want to go and renew your vow with your wife. It is not mandatory. But when you find out a day out of 365 days, out of 360 days, for whatever be the case, and then you decided to use one day to say, hey, my love, today I want to celebrate our love. Today, I want to assure you that this thing that we have together, it has not been the perfect relationship whatsoever. This our relationship has not been the perfect relationship because every relationship has its own weaknesses. But today, I want to assure you that I am still in this thing with you. We are in it together. We are going to build it together. We're going to support each other together. Whatever be the challenge that we have faced for the past 1 year, I believe in the next 14th February is going to be better. Now, there comes because if you do not give gifts, you cannot love. But I
Hmm?
am not of the opinion because love does not
Eh?
come with just mere mouth. You cannot just say with your mouth, oh, it is love. Gift is important when it comes to love because it is like an ornament when the person remembers this. Oh, this was given to me on the 14th of February. These things, it's just like you living in your house and you want to just go and buy a bed and chair. You refuse to buy television. You refuse to buy flower. You refuse to buy wall, frames because you're just a simple person. No, all these small things, all these experiences, they all matter. I am not of the opinion that people should go and spend, break the bank just to celebrate Valentine's Day. But I think that we should make effort. If you cannot afford to buy gold, buy a bottle of water. If you cannot afford to buy a car, buy a book. If you cannot afford to buy a flower, if you cannot afford to buy a flower, buy credit, whatever be the case. It could be gift card, whatever. It is just an assurance to say, hey, my love, I am in this thing with you. Take this gift. And it is vice versa. And if you have not explained to your partner that, hey, listen, I also love gifts. Tell me, Mr. Sholatoni, Mr. Marvel, and everybody on this call. Tell me if your wife buys you a gift on the 14th of February or your partner
Hmm?
buys you a gift on the 14th of February. You say, no, I don't celebrate 14th, I don't celebrate Val's Day. So for that reason, I am not accepting this. Let me tell you, you will feel love. You will feel happy. You
Yeah.
will feel excited. So that same feeling you will
Right.
feel, why not let her feel the same way? Because love, as a matter of fact, does not come from one part. Sometimes the love from the man is higher, and then the woman is like, oh, I don't like what she's doing. Then some other time again, the woman's love is also higher. So I think that it is an opportunity for you to exchange gifts, exchange your commitment to one another. It is not a commitment to show how well you are. It is not an opportunity to show you want to break the bank to spend all the money you have made simply because you want to make a woman happy or you want to make a man happy. I think it is a significant opportunity for every man to express the way they truly feel about their relationship. Even if you're not happy in your relationship, it is an opportunity for you to send out a message saying, even though I'm not happy, but guess what? I am still in this with you and I'm willing to fight for it.
I
So,
just want to
yes,
say
I
something.
believe it has
Okay.
everything to do with
Yeah,
love. Thank
Joe,
I
you.
just want to say something to what you're saying.
Thank you.
There's a
thank you.
woman, there's a woman who said to her husband suddenly out of the blue, I thank you for all that you do. You get up in the morning, 5 o'clock, go to work, and you don't come home until 9 o'clock. You pay our rent, you put food on our table, roof on my head, electric is paid, life insurance is done. This is in America. And I thank you and I appreciate you. Valentine's Day does not stipulate, does not show because you give them gift one day. What you do on a daily basis, that should be appreciated. It's not what you give that defines what you do. You pay the rent, you look after them. Your kids are not starving, they go to school. You pay for their school fees. You're making sure they're well and looked after. And it's in a daily 365 days you do that. You take them on holiday. That in itself is a gift. It doesn't mean that you have to go and spend £4,000, £6,000, or whatever, or give them a gift or celebrate a particular day to show what you do on a daily basis. Your woman should love, respect, honor what you do, not just on Valentine's Day.
I think Greg has he's
Yeah,
have
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, thank you very much, Joseph. I just wanted to say that everything you have said, buying your children, paying their school fees, and doing all of those things, those are responsibilities. These are not something that has to do with love. And love happens, it is a willingness. It is the willingness. It is you going that extra mile. If you like I used Christianity as an example, you can say, oh, I don't want to go to church every Sunday because Christianity is in the heart. I can choose to go to church every Sunday. I can choose not to go to church every Sunday. Yes, but remember, that's what the Bible said, when two or three are gathered, I am there. It does not mean that God is not in your heart. It does not mean you do not have love for your children. You do not have love for your family. I am saying that the fact that you bring how many days for I don't know about Shola or Mr. Tony. I don't know how many days do you still take your wife out on a date in a year. Some people still do that, but this is yet
Of
for
course.
yeah, this is an opportunity. This is another opportunity. Don't say, "Oh, because we are old, you're going to forget it." And the good thing Mr. Shola have also said
Hey,
is that
we're
it
not
must
old.
not
We're not
be.
old. Forget that.
So it must not be every
Yeah.
day. It must not be on the 14th of February. But I think it is
Right.
good. It is good to mark that day significantly. I will tell you this. For instance, me, I grew up in a Christian family. We kill chicken every other day. I mean, we eat chicken, we eat rice. But one thing that has come to stay is every 25th of December, we must kill chicken and eat rice and stew. That's at that day. The same type of stew, the same type of rice, the same type of chicken. But let me be honest with you, it feels differently when you eat that stew on a 25th of December. And if you don't eat that food on the 25th of December, if you don't eat the chicken on the 25th of December, there is something that happens in your psyche. There is this thing that happens. I
Really?
mean, in our family, yes. I'm just telling you.
Okay.
So that is the same
Okay.
thing that happens with some significant days that has been attached for certain
Right.
celebrations. So I think that
Right.
14th of February is one of those days. Thank you.
Let me chime in. Let me chime in some bits here because I think Greg has said some powerful things here, and I actually agree with some of the things he said. Some I disagree, but we're not here to fight. We're here to just reason this thing out and discuss. Now, look, the concept of when you mentioned about responsibility, Greg, I wouldn't say that because a man doesn't formally or actively celebrate the 14th that a man is running away from his from his responsibilities. I don't really buy that. I don't tap into the thing as you said about the gifts. One does not have to. There's no constitutional thing that says a gift has to be exchanged. Right now, the other point is about when we talk about love. This whole aspect of love. I've got here. I was talking. I don't know whether you were here at the beginning. I mentioned love, the word love, the love that I'm talking about, the love that I like to tap into. I said before that I always like to go to the Bible for my reference points because that's where I believe wisdom is gathered, and then we need the understanding to impart that wisdom. So, for example, when we talk about there are different kinds of love, and I've said before, we've already ascertained here tonight that the love that we're seeing out in the world and systemically today has been contaminated. It's all wrong. Yeah. The agape, when we talk about agape love, where I'm coming from, and I believe this is where we should be in terms of loving our partners, our spouses, it's a selfless love that gives and does not expect anything back in return. Greg, you talked about Christianity, you talked about Jesus. Jesus, when he gave his life for us, he didn't ask for anything back in return. Yeah, it was something that was done because it was good and because it was right. You understand? And that's the kind of love that I believe personally that it should be centered on. The over commercialization, the gifts, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that we shouldn't buy our spouses gifts. I'm not saying that, but it doesn't have to. I don't believe it's something that's got to be written in stone. I don't think it's something that's got to be determined that, oh, because you didn't buy me a gift, now there's war in the house or people are pulling their face and so forth. It shouldn't be like that. Love, when you do something, you're doing it. When you give something from the bottom of your heart and you really mean it, you're not actually expecting anything back. That's love. That's true love. If something comes back, fine. You mentioned something, I had to laugh. If somebody gave me a gift now, for example, Valentine's Day, they give me a gift, I'm going to accept it and I'll say thank you. God bless you. But the onus, I don't have to, I don't feel obliged to give something back. I don't, to be honest. If I want to, tomorrow now decide to buy something for them just out of the blue, they know that I don't formally celebrate it anyway. But the one point I do agree with you on is that it can be an opportunity, just like you mentioned Christmas, just like you mentioned Easter. Yeah, it can be an opportunity to give an expression of love. But I don't believe it's something that it's a compulsory thing that a gift has to be exchanged. Just to round off, the love that we're talking about is whereby you're not obliged to physically give a thing back. Yeah? I'll leave it there for now.
Yeah, I'd just like to add to what you're saying. God's love is unconditional. We give without return. It shouldn't have to be that we give and expect return.
Yeah.
It's what we're talking about here. Love is Western ways screwed up.
Of course.
We're materialistic with me, and selfishness.
Yeah.
Love is unconditional. Your love for your wife, for your kids are unconditional. It shouldn't be to anything else, but don't expect in return. Your kids will never thank you for all the things you do for years. Some will, not all. But we shouldn't expect anything from that.
Thank you.
There's a bit there. Sorry, Tony. There's a bit there. I just want to just creep in now because part of the topic, part of the title, it talks about masculinity. Now, again, I think we need to throw in what kind of masculinity we're talking about. Again, I'm going to come from a perspective of a godly masculinity. There's a word that I found. It says that a woman is the expression of man's glory. And so when we don't do the right thing by our spouses, yeah, we're actually making a dent into that expression. Now, that doesn't necessarily have to be with a gift. It's by what you express, emotionally, spiritually, physically. You understand? All those attributes. It's not based on I gave you this and now I'm expecting something back. Yeah, a woman is the expression of us guys' glory. So if we're not respecting that, and it doesn't need to be determined by money. It does not need to be determined by a material aspect. Again, I say it doesn't mean it's wrong to do those things, right? But it's not mandatory. It shouldn't be obligatory that a gift or something of a material value has had to be exchanged to warrant that, that preeminence or that description of who our partner is.
Ola, I think it's a good time to bring somebody else into the mix now. Oh, okay. Marvel, do you want to say something quick?
Yeah. I just want to say very quickly that I think Shola mentioned something about masculinity now. And I just wanted to say that, you see, love for some people is relative. For some women, is relative. It's not really about gifts. For some women, it's about your presence with them. It's about being around. It's about emotions. You see. So if it's probably tied around, okay, you know what? I have to wait till on the 14th before I give you a gift, then it actually doesn't preach love anymore. That could be done. That could be done on the 10th. It could be done on in December. The gift could be given in January. Could be given in February. It doesn't have to be, I want to show I'm a man. I have to then take
Mm.
my woman out on Valentine's Day before she
Mhm.
knows that, okay, I've got a Superman at home. No, every day should be a Superman. So you have to understand what your woman wants. If she's somebody who wants you to be home more, wants you to be with the kids, wants you to go out with them,
Well,
to her, that could be love. And when that is expressed daily, I think it covers everything that you would have done on the 14th in one day. So that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you, Marvel.